Well, you still beat me.
Yeah, that was wild. I'd just gotten home when I got your link, so I was like, "Ooh,
Well, to be honest, I have an addiction.
two."
Arkham Knight.
Oh, you know what I have been playing lately?
Grab ass?
No, I bet you won't be able to guess it.
Well, it'll be lame. Hello Kitty?
No, I wish. That costs money.
Spy v Spy?
Saints Row the Third.
The second one is the best.
Yeah, but the third's my favorite.
All right, take it easy.
That's the one I know. I got the Xbox 360 all queued up, and then whatever my Xbox 360 remote's not working, which is great. So
Why?
I saw, I don't know. So I was seeing if it was backwards compatible, and it is. So I'm playing it on Xbox One now.
Wow, you're all doing it.
So that's happened twice now. I guess feeding time on the thing is when we start the show, because that happened yesterday too.
What's feeding time mean?
I have an automatic feeder that has like three different times that it dispenses food, and one of them's now. What does that mean?
That's what you sounded like there a minute ago. Your camera is terrible too.
Are you sure it's not you? Because I'm fine over here.
I don't know,
Is it your?
or the connection. I thought you had a good connection.
I do. I'm literally fine. I can see you clearly. You got a good screen. I think it's your Wi-Fi, bro.
Dude, I got Ace's Wi-Fi.
Your Wi-Fi actually kind of blows.
1 gig.
Usually, if I'm like at the house, I disconnect from the Wi-Fi.
How is that possible?
I don't know. It just sucks.
1 gig booster.
I don't know what happens with the Wi-Fi since we moved here, but it hasn't been great.
Well, it's very hard to get that signal way back here, but
Mhm.
I've also connected a router much closer to this area to send the signal over.
Power Pants
No, is it Power Pants?
or Pop Tart.
It must be Power Pants
You
5G.
you got like 3.
Well, I mean, it's a signal issue, but out in the front room, it's good.
Lucy Miller Downing's here.
Hi,
It's an
Lucy.
M.
You like the Ghostbusters?
Yeah, we
Ghostbusters,
like the
what do you
Ghostbusters.
want?
Dude, I was telling one of the teachers about that, and they were really jealous.
Well, they could have went, right?
Also, it was really dumb. I hate this guy, by the way.
Oh, good.
It was
Just
really
put
dumb.
that out.
He
What's
was
his
doing,
name?
yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna say his name. Um, but he was quoting something from the Facts of Life theme song, and he was like, "Does anybody know that?" And I said, "Yeah, that's the Facts of Life." He was like, "I'm gonna play it for you guys since I don't think you guys know that." I'm just like, "I just said it's the Facts of Life, brother." He just couldn't believe that somebody from my generation would know. We watched that for like 2 seconds.
Well, nobody liked it.
Apparently he did, because he got offended.
No, I'm talking about the
Nobody.
group here.
Oh, I got you.
People were bored pretty quick.
Oh, I was fine with it. I think one of our roommates was upset with it.
Really?
Yeah, I think I remember specifically what happened too.
Really? What was it?
Uh, a time for off camera.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Okay, so anybody who is familiar with this show and was watching yesterday, you're going to say, "Hey, he's wearing the same shirt.
uh-oh.
What gives?"
My hair looks a lot worse.
Well, guess what? It
Is
is
this
not
different?
the same shirt. It's a different shirt, one size down.
Wow. By the way, what
Yeah.
speaking of the ghost show, literally both me and the person I brought, like,
Your connection is garbage. Can you dip out and dip back in?
sure, but I'm fine.
Dipping in, dipping out, dipping in, dipping out, dipping in, dipping out. Now tell me you can't dip back in. There we go.
Good?
Hello.
Is it
How would I know in point zero seconds?
is it better?
Well, you were saying something and it was all garbled. What did you say?
Oh, when we went to that Ghostbusters show, me and Sea Dog didn't even recognize you at first.
Who'd you think I was?
We just thought you look very different from the last time I saw you.
All right. Maybe it's the beard.
I said because you were thin, bro.
Oh, no, that I like to hear.
Yeah, well, that we kept looking at each other like, is that him?
That's me.
Twas.
Here I am.
You're on fire over there, man.
Well, I'm doing what I can for the people.
Yeah, but that was at the Ghostbusters show. That's how I was gonna dovetail it into Ghostbusters.
I like those connections. You do a good job.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So it's 1:06, so it's time to start. So, hello, fool.
Hello, laser brain.
I called you fool because this is Fools on Film.
And I just did an ad placement. I'm hoping G Fuel's gonna sponsor us.
Good luck. And what are we here to do?
We're here to talk about the show we went to. Actually, you know what? I got the ticket right here. How do you like them apples?
Is it backwards?
Maybe, but it's our ticket for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, why is everything backwards all the time? I'm
I,
tired of backwards.
but I just doxed myself, so we're good.
It didn't used to be that way. Now it's that way all the time.
They had got some update where things changed and they suck.
Well, great.
Yeah,
Now
that's usually how that goes.
I look like a jerk sandwich with everything backwards.
Yep. It's funny. I got the ticket right here because I was gonna go put it in my scrapbook.
So we're going to talk about the Ghostbusters symphonic, but really this is also a general discussion of Ghostbusters because you did watch the film.
I did watch the film.
So of course I have the backwards Ghostbuster here.
Yay.
Wink.
Do I have any Ghostbusters? I don't think I have anything Ghostbusters related to show.
Boy, this drives me crazy. This backwards.
Well, also you got a big glare on it too, so
Well, what am I going to do? It's the
you
screen.
really can't.
Well, everybody knows the symbol, right? It's a ghost.
The ghost, and I am afraid no ghost.
And it looks like somebody wrote something. This sealed copy of Ghostbusters, someone has written under it. So I'm not sure this is sealed. I think somebody resealed it.
Let's give a brief overview of what we went to because people are like, Symphony, Ghostbusters, what are you talking about? You know?
Well, also, we get a bunch of DD fans. So I'll just quickly show this acquisition
Uh oh.
documentary 1984 on Betamax.
Great.
And of course, the thing that everybody had to buy, otherwise, you were kicked out of school,
Okay.
Betamax.
Betamax.
There you go. Now, don't say I don't always do something DD.
There you go.
So, Ghostbusters, people ask me a lot, what is your favorite film? I never have an answer because my favorite film is the one I'm watching or recently watched or whatever. But if you're going to go by time seen, it has to be Ghostbusters.
It's really good. I always am down to watch Ghostbusters.
Well, I will tell you, I was around in 1984. What's wrong with this thing? In 1984, and I saw this film with its original run between 15 and 20 times
Yeah, it's
in the theater.
it's fun. And I feel like it's really weird because every time you watch it, you notice new things.
Like the Slimer.
or you forget a line. I feel like I watched that pretty recently, and then we went and saw it in show, and I forgot a bunch of the jokes.
Well, you know what's weird for me now? I've watched the work print cut
Mhm.
because it came in that box. The picture for this video is not going to be my face. It's going to be a picture of that box up there.
Mhm.
Anyway, within that thing, there's a work print of the film, which is originally how it was going to be. And there are extended scenes with different jokes.
Mhm.
So now, like when they walk into the library for the first time, when they start in, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. This isn't the work print
Yeah,
because there's a whole nother sequence.
you got other stuff going on.
Well, it's just condensed.
So
They didn't do different jokes. They just chopped them out.
so let's can we at least say what we went to?
Sure, go ahead. You're on fire to say it, so
Because
fire away.
people are like, "What do you like?" You refuse to give them context.
Well, first I'm laying the groundwork. It's Ghostbusters.
Well, because when I first saw this, they sent me an email about this, and I
Okay.
didn't know what it was, but I knew I wanted to go because it sounded cool. Which is, it's a performance hall with a bunch of seats, and they put a big screen up, and they're playing Ghostbusters on a big screen, kind of like a movie theater. But on stage, right below the screen, they've got a whole orchestra, and I was like, what are they gonna do with that? Are they just gonna do the Ghostbusters theme song? But it turns out they were doing like all the background music basically, which is
The
like
s-
all
the, the score. It's called the score.
exactly the whole score. And in fact, that was the only thing they didn't do until the very end, which was the Ghostbusters theme song.
Right. And when you heard them do it, you see, oh yeah, it was better they
Yeah, did
yeah,
better.
all the pop music was the original music. So
Except,
that whoever came up with this idea just stripped out all of the score and
hmm
then the symphony fills in the score.
and you get to see it live, which is way
Right, they play right there in your face, yeah.
because I didn't really know what to expect going in. I just thought I was gonna get to see Ghostbusters and it was gonna be cool. But that was really cool. Like, come on, can you say
Yeah,
that was cool?
they did a good job, but I mean, I could nitpick somewhere in there when they were stripping out the score. Sometimes they stripped out other stuff, like
Uh,
sound effects and stuff.
yeah, but you do the best with what you got.
Right.
But that was insanely cool. And even though we were near the front row because that's all that was left. Meanwhile, that was all that was left, and I saw so many empty seats behind us. Like just people didn't show up.
Well, at the price of those tickets, I'm really surprised at that.
Well, but think of the UCA kids. We only had to pay $10 no matter where we sat.
Mhm.
And we got to do that twice. So I bet people went in and got tickets and then were like, "Oh, I can't go." And then we don't get the best seats in the house.
Well, I can tell you, I was bent over.
What do you mean by that?
Cash rape.
Oh, yeah, you were because it was the second row, which is considered the best.
Well, it actually turned out to be. When you're watching a film, the second row is shit, but they had the screen back far enough that it was actually really good.
Yeah, and we were watching the people playing the instruments in
Yeah,
between.
you could see that real close, and then you look up and there's the screen. They did a really good job on integration. I wasn't really sure what they were going to do with that.
Well, they also had a theremin. Is that how you say it?
I don't know that they had that.
Close.
I think that was a keyboard.
Seed Dog says in the background she could see it.
All right, well then
It's
I'll
just
go with that.
it was weird because you could see the hand movements and you know, oh, that's probably what that is. But apparently they had one back there.
Well, I could just tell you that Nick Rhodes' 1997 had a theremin built into his laptop, and he played it with his hand waving in the air over it.
Well, and it's possible that's what they did, but waving their hand is what I was told.
And that was, 25 years ago. So
Hmm. But that was one of my favorite noises.
I think you could also simulate it with a keyboard with the whammy stick over there on the left.
There was also somebody with a harp, which was fun to watch too.
Yeah, it was
The
all
best
right.
the best time for the harp was when she had gotten possessed by Zool, and you open up for the reveal. She's like, "Are you the keymaster?" And then it does the blue, 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 blue. You know, the
To
romance,
be,
and then closes, and then immediately goes back into it.
yeah, Dana's theme was actually the best played when they did that.
Yeah, it was real nice.
So now let's talk about Ghostbusters in general.
Okay. We enjoyed the show.
Okay, you won't get off the symphony, will you?
No, because
Oh,
that's the whole name of the show.
okay, go ahead.
That was it. I just said we enjoyed the show, and then we're gonna move on to the movie.
Well, I mean, I can end it right now if you like.
No, we're good.
You don't have any more factoids for symphony?
No. I just thought that was the piece de resistance.
You don't want to say anything about the conductor?
The conductor was in the way. At least in my view.
I'm talking about how he jogged on stage and did a couple bows and wanted his standing O, and then intermission, he ran off the stage and
He
then jogged back in,
he wants to be called maestro.
and then at the end, he jogged out of there after his accolades.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, wasn't it?
I've never seen a conductor move that fast, yeah.
Yeah, he just had to get out of there. Maybe he was getting water or something. I don't know. Had to use the bathroom.
I think he just does the, once you he wants you wanting more, he disappears, so you're like, "Oh, I wish he would come back."
Did you want him to come back?
No, I was done by the end of the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, I meant when he ran away, where you were like, "Oh, I want him back."
And judging by the traffic out front in the parking lot, I think a lot of people just got right out of there
Yeah, that's usually how that goes over
because
there.
there were people in their cars already by the time I walked outside.
People, it's nothing to mess around about. That's why we just sat there because we were just like, I'm not fighting all these people.
And it's not even that big a place, so that's kind of weird.
It's not, but I mean, it got the job done. I think they've had some pretty good shows there.
All right, well then I'm going to move off the symphony and talk about. Well, I guess I should talk a little bit about. They had an intro by Dan Aykroyd
Yeah, it was kind of lame.
telling you. So they were heavily involved in whatever this is, and what it did, it looked like a kit to me.
Mhm.
So if you're an orchestra, you can apply for the kit
Mhm.
and you get with the movie, you get the little intro and you get the music stripped out.
Mhm.
And I'm sure they give you the sheet music so everybody can play. And hey, Fawn, how you doing?
Hey, Fawn.
And then for intermission, you got Ivan Reitman, the director,
Mhm.
and he gave his little word jazz about the film and how much he liked the guy who wrote the score.
Mhm.
So it was clearly an integrated package.
Yeah, I felt that too.
So well, I mean, we could apply for the package and then play the score.
Exactly. Except we're not gonna do that.
I'm not.
I'm not either. I don't play anything.
We can
I
hum.
Yeah, I can hum, but I just got done cleaning up the kitchen. Good job, Fawn.
Now, yeah, do you have time to do mine?
I just cleaned the bathroom for the 20th time.
I just vacuumed and mopped the entire kitchen,
Wow.
and then those blankety blanks came in with these giant muddy feet, especially that Tandy, and just squirted it all over the place.
It was pouring rain yesterday, bro.
So I redid it, and then I come back out there about 30 minutes later. I can see where Tandy's been.
Yeah, she has a tendency to do whatever she wants. Well, Fawn's got more snow.
Yeah, what is there an update? Are we getting more snow? Are you full of it or
Once again, it still says Thursday might be snow.
oh, might be. We've seen a lot of those might be's never get close.
Yeah, but sometimes it's true, which sucks. Yesterday was a trip, man. We couldn't really leave the house.
I didn't leave the house. I think maybe
It was pouring.
yesterday was Saturday, right?
Yeah, that's why today we went out and did errands and such.
I can't remember why I was out Saturday, but I was out.
Mm. Fox Day?
And I haven't moved today.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It really has been a cleaning day.
Yeah, well, we were out doing errands most of the day, and then after this, I have a bunch of cleaning that needs to get done to set up the week, and I got a little bit of schoolwork, but I did most of it yesterday. Like I
It
was,
looked like it was a white out, guys. So that means you look outside and it's all white
yeah, snow.
and hazy.
Yeah, I do like
Usually that goes along with it.
I like a good haze.
Because you weren't here, Fawn, here's a treat for you
Yay, backwards Ghostbusters.
with some light shine.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well take that seal off of there. That's bogus, dude.
Glare.
Well, I just mean it's not really sealed.
Yeah, but who really cares at the end of the day? You like to keep them half sealed and half not. I just like them out and about.
Well, you want to preserve the case, right?
No.
Well, okay. To each his own. I find this like something like this here has only got so much more time left on the planet.
Well, then keep the seal on, brother.
So I am a temporary steward of this tape.
Nah, I just open everything as soon as I get it, and then it goes on the shelf.
And then once I kick the bucket, then you'll be going through all these tapes and going, I don't like that one, and tossing them in the garbage.
Did I tell you that that Blu-ray shelf guy never responded to me?
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, which is a shame because that was genuinely perfect.
I've had a few that have done that recently. And I'm like, why bother selling it then if you're not gonna
I know it's weird. It's weird.
three Ghostbusters? So do you mean one and two and then one of the new ones?
Possibly. There's also that female one.
Oh yeah, you're right. I never think of that.
There's the chicks, and then there's the kids, and then there's the OG.
Yeah, so she's probably got one and two and then the chicks.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen that one since it came out.
I've seen it a couple times.
Oh,
I don't hate it as much as everyone else does.
I need to probably watch it again.
But I think when you watch it's sort of a watered down version,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a complete remake. It's every beat,
Yeah,
essentially. So I'm not sure why it exists, but okay.
you were right. One, two women. I actually really like the new one. I didn't love the sequel new one, but I liked that first one a lot with the kids.
Hmm. I've only seen the ice one once.
Yeah, the ice one didn't really do it for me.
I have it though, and I would watch it again. I just haven't. But I haven't watched any of the others either.
I right before we went and saw the Frozen one, we saw that kid one, and I'm like, oh, this was so much better, because I saw them like back to back. I need
Well, the Fawn says she wants to get the kids one. There's two of them now, and I'm sure you can get a really good deal on a two pack.
What is it? Afterlife was the first one.
Afterlife and Frozen Empire.
Yeah, Afterlife was the better one.
Maybe. I don't know. I
No,
guess it was, but
I saw.
I don't think the Frozen Empire was garbage,
I don't think it was garbage. It's just it could have been better.
and I still like it better than 2016's.
What was that?
That's the chick one.
Oh, I haven't seen the chick one in a while, so I couldn't say for sure.
Yeah. It's not my favorite.
It's not my favorite. It's just there were some like plot holes or things that could have been written better that just bugged me, and it made me not enjoy it as much as the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't as polished as the first one, and the biggest downfall of Frozen Empire was there was just too many characters,
There were a lot, and they didn't have to bring them all back.
or they didn't need all those new characters.
Yeah,
Like, when they went to the bookstore to find out about whatever and whatever, that should have been Dan Aykroyd doing that,
yeah,
because he's the book guy and had a bookstore, so it makes no sense to me that they would go to an extra guy.
yeah. I just meh. There was
Whatever.
stuff I could be nitpicky about that it bugged me. I normally can suspend my disbelief, but there were some things I was just like, you know,
Alright, well, so let's dissect Ghostbusters 1984.
okay.
What do you like? What do you wanna tell me?
It's funny.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Like
Funny in a way that you don't see anymore.
I said earlier that every time I watch it I feel like I forget a handful of jokes and then they make me laugh. But then like I can't recall them, so I got to watch the movie again. It's rewatchable.
Well, that's the thing about it. It's joke, 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 joke. Well, it's not as dense as The Simpsons, but
Yeah. Speaking
there's a
of
lot.
one off tangent, I was watching some Simpsons a few days ago and it is so good. I,
Depends on where you are.
I was like at season 4. Watch
Yeah,
I was watching a bunch of stuff at 4 and it was really good.
yeah, I would say 1 through 10 about.
1 through 9.
I
I
like there's some good stuff in 10.
I guess. It's just there's so many classics around the 4, 5, and 6 range. Like, every time I was, like, looking through the list and picking the ones I wanted to watch, and I'm like, "Oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. That's a good one."
Well,
Hey,
yeah,
watch
there are so many jokes in The Simpsons that I forget what episodes they're in.
that's why, because for a while, I would just watch Simpsons on, like, repeat constantly, and then we'd play, like, Family Feud Simpsons, and I would be, like, a maniac.
Well, I don't ever recall you winning.
Hey, I was the only one who could really go up against you, and you were the factoid master.
Somehow, yeah, I did a good job. That
You
irritated a lot of people.
Yeah, some people. You like your roommate.
Yeah, well, I can't. Yeah, I don't think I've ever played a game with her where at some point I wasn't accused of cheating.
Yeah. Even Yahtzee.
Even Yahtzee.
I told that story to Sea Dog, and she finds that hilarious, so
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a harbinger for things to come, right?
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure we were married at that point.
You should have taken that as a warning sign
I mean, what an odd reaction, right?
to winning at Yahtzee.
It wasn't that I won. We were just starting the game, and it was maybe turn number 1 or 2 for me, and I rolled a Yahtzee.
Mhm.
And for her, that meant she was gonna lose, and she just went, "I'm so mad right now." Just pure anger.
I'm very competitive as well, so I understand.
Yeah, but there's a I don't know if you remember, but every time we'd play a game, she would convince you 2 to gang up on me.
True.
She would start throwing salt, and then when I was doing bad, she'd stay quiet. But the second I started getting an upper hand, she started throwing the salt.
It I have definitely been up against you, especially when it comes to arcade games and trying to beat you. I understand how frustrating it is to have someone, especially with that smile right there.
Well, I do my best when I'm under pressure, no question about it.
It's just I think back to like Tempest, and I get mad again, or like what was it, Donkey Kong 2? Was that the one?
3.
3, Donkey Kong 3. Like I had to, for my mental health, I had to stop playing that because I couldn't beat your score.
Well, I got rid of it, you don't have to worry.
It was so frustrating.
Tom, Audrina, and Beat. Yeah, Beat sounds like he's in a bad place, and so does Audrina. And Tom Baker, I don't even know what time it is in Belgium,
Mhm.
so I never expect him.
It's always a little
Yeah, because
when it
he pops in or whatever, but I assume he's asleep.
yeah, which makes sense.
And Audrina, she wrote some comments in the video yesterday about how she had not felt well and had been in bed all day.
Oh no.
And Beat, the same. He looks exhausted,
Yeah.
and he said he was having some back issues. But I think when YouTube or whatever that duck thing is sort of broke his momentum,
Mhm. It messes
he
your whole groove.
yeah, and I understand that.
Me too.
That would really fry my bacon,
If somebody messes up my momentum, it takes me a minute.
right? It stinks. But so, give me your. I mean, I mean, is there any point in discussing the plot of Ghostbusters? Is there anyone out there who hasn't seen it?
And that seems kind of dumb.
I
I
mean,
don't.
basically, it's a work comedy. Some guys have a startup, they start it up, and it becomes a success. And then they get too successful, and the government comes in and starts tinkering with it. And then in the last act, they overcome their greatest challenge ever, and then you get a happy ending.
Which is great.
But that's if you boil that movie down, that's what it is.
Mhm. Just plot, and then it's joke, 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 joke.
There's nothing better than a movie that has a figure that's a smartass.
Yeah.
Those are my favorites,
Well, you got the two kind of nerdy guys, and then you got.
which are good. They're good actors and they're good writers and they're funny in their own way. But the main guy who's the smartass, that's what I enjoy.
Mhm. I'm trying to think of that one line I really enjoyed when we saw that at the orchestra.
Hmm.
There was one by him that I was just like, "Oh, that's so good." I was even telling you about it. It's one of those things I can't recall now, but when I'm watching it, I'm like, "Oh, that's so good."
Well, what I think is funny is in Frozen Empire, when he shows up at the very end,
Mhm.
he's in the, firehouse, and for no reason in the world, he's wearing Wayfair sunglasses. It makes no sense.
Mhm.
They're inside, there's no sun, there's nothing bright going on, and he's walking around like he walked on for that day, did that scene, and he's got the glasses on, like, too cool for school.
Yeah. See, and that in itself is pretty in character for him.
Right, and it's pretty funny,
Yeah.
I
He
thought,
he got the shades on, man.
just for no reason.
I will give that Frozen movie credit. I did really like his scene where you got to see him doing what he did in the first movie, which was those tests on the guy.
So you're talking about the after the credits roll and you get a bonus scene.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
In the Frozen movie, there's the guy they think is like the fire master, and he needs to be tested to make sure he is like the fire master. So he sits down with, uh,
No.
yes,
No, no. No, 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 no.
and he's trying to aggravate him to get him to do the fire powers.
I'm talking about the bonus scene after the credits roll where he's sitting there with Sigourney Weaver and she corrects some bad behavior from 1984.
I'm not talking about that.
Oh, well, that's the good scene.
No, I'm talking about the one with the fire master.
I don't recall that.
You don't? That was like the best part of that movie.
Well, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that bonus scene.
That was at the end of the first movie. The Frozen Empire one is the one I'm talking about, where we got to see his
Oh, okay.
psychology stuff.
You're right.
Yeah. You actually got to see him doing the thing he did in the first movie,
Right.
which
And
you actually did not get to see a lot of. So he did that, and it was funny because he was trying to aggravate the guy. And
well,
that
the tables were turned on him in the one I'm talking about.
I know. I'm not talking about that one.
Which one are you talking about?
The one with the fire master in the second movie.
So the bonus scene with Sigourney Weaver and the tables are turned?
Are you
Do,
doing
do,
that on
do, do, do.
purpose?
Yes, I am. And it worked.
I'm just making sure because you were making me angry.
I saw it
Yeah.
and it was delicious.
Well, because you were actually being that stupid for that long.
Thank you.
And then you started.
Father's Day is just a couple of months away. You mind inscribing that in the card?
I will.
Thank you.
It's just you were. Come on, admit it. You didn't know what I was talking about.
I didn't.
Yeah,
I'm fixated on the other scene because it was so good.
that was good. The fact that you got to see the reverse.
First 2 Ghostbusters was my favorite, and the 3 was my least favorite, so she's talking about 2016.
Yeah.
The second one, 1989, had some trouble, and that's one that I go back to less.
Yeah, that's the one that everybody hates on.
Well, I don't know if they hate on it. It still made a ton of bread, but it was just a number 1, it was slightly disappointing for what they came up with, 6 years later or 5 years later,
Mhm.
and 2, it was in a summer where there were blockbusters every week.
Yeah. So,
So,
what are you
but
gonna do?
I still am glad it exists, and I appreciate that it's there, and I do watch it.
I definitely like the kid one. It aside from the I don't know if I've ever seen the second one, the second Ghostbusters.
That's the one where there's a river of slime underneath New York?
Not ringing a bell.
Well, you got something to look forward to. I envy you.
I think right now from what I've known and what I've seen, the original is number 1, obviously, and number 2 is that first kids one, Afterlife.
Mm.
Yep.
No, I'm gonna go with 1 and 2 because the main Ghostbusters are in the entire movie, whereas the kid one, you only get a little sprinkling of the original, so it's mostly for a new cast. It's essentially what they call a soft reboot.
I like the soft reboot
It
cuz
was a greatest hits with a little sprinkling of, legendary characters.
that chick who was what's his name? Egad?
Egon, yeah?
Egon, excuse me. Egad is that guy from Luigi's Mansion.
Oh, sorry.
Egon, the chick who played his kid was perfect.
Well, yeah, they did certainly make her look like him.
Well, also she acts like him.
She did a good job because I've seen her on TV. She's a blonde, number one, and
Mm.
she's a little bit of a bubblehead.
Yeah, well, apparently she knows how to play that kind of just like scientific.
Right, the opposite of a bubblehead.
Exactly. So
So she was doing some good work there. And Fryn Wolfram, I don't even know that his heart was in the movie.
the Frozen one, his heart was not in that movie. The first one, I think he was fine. I think that was it. And the one who played, okay, so no, that was the granddaughter of Egon, the chick, and then the mom didn't really act like,
Nothing at all like
yeah.
the family. But she could have taken after her mother.
Well, obvious. Well, because what I think the story was that he was obsessed with like this big, like,
The
ghost.
end of the world.
Yeah, and kind of left that family to go do that. So it makes sense that she took after her mom. Why the granddaughter is just like him? That's just a coinky dink.
I just got an alert, mixed precipitation.
What does that mean?
Uh, when I hear that, I think snow and rain.
Great. I
It
hope
didn't
I
say I didn't click it though, so I don't know. Um,
I hope class is canceled.
I don't know how soon. It was 33 this morning when I woke up, and that's not enough to get you snow.
I know, but well, like I said, they said like Thursday. That's what I was told. Ugh, by the school.
Well, that'll be a drag, won't it?
They usually know what's up, supposedly.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So is there anything left to say about uh Ghostbusters or Ghostbusters Symphonic?
Go watch the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I mean you could get that anywhere.
That's the end of the story. That's all you need to hear.
It sounds like Fawn's got a couple of DVDs, so she can play it anytime she wants.
Yeah, you gotta watch that original again. I'm really glad I went to that event with the symphony. I thought it was gonna be cool. I didn't know it was gonna be that cool. It exceeded expectations.
It did exceed expectations. I will give you that.
Facts.
Listening to them play live was better than I thought it was going to be.
I think it, even though I only spent $10 on my ticket, I think the $50 would have been worth it.
Well, I paid 60, so
The $60 would have been worth it.
mhm.
I still think, because it was an experience.
So I mean, I wouldn't have known about that unless you'd told me. So I don't know how other people find out when it's in their town, but it was the symphony of your city.
The
So,
the only reason I knew about it is because sometimes UCA sends me emails with events coming up, and that's how I got it.
but my point being, you don't have to wait for them to tour around the country. The symphony in your hometown may be doing it.
Exactly. You gotta you gotta be looking at that's like going to a Rocky Horror Picture Show. You don't see it advertised like those shows, those interactive shows. You have to be looking for it. Is what I
Yeah.
and I so happen to be looking for it at a time they were coming here, which is wild.
Well, people out there, just talk to your grandpa or your great grandpa because he knows what's up over there.
One thing I will say, there was an influx of old people at that show.
That's my entire point. They love the symphony. So they're dialed into every show they do all year.
There's
That's why I said you should talk to them.
Yeah, that was wild. There were a lot of old people.
Now, they're not going to call it Ghostbusters, but it'll be in the general area of the word.
There you go.
Like
They
you might get a crime buster or Buster Ghost
they ain't afraid of no ghost.
or that green guy that flies around and eats.
The slimy one,
I don't think they'd use the word slimy. It'd probably be the green guy who flies around and eats.
probably.
And then you gotta have to put it together in your brain. Oh, they're talking
Yeah.
about Slimer.
You got like a code you gotta redo.
By the way, can we give it up to Slimer?
What about it?
He's appeared in all of the movies, even the chick one.
Yeah, because he's a staple. Similar to the Stay Puft. I don't know if that appears
Yeah, yeah, you're getting a lot of Stay Puff too. Although the second one, I don't remember Stay Puff at all.
because those are like the cutesy characters that make you think of Ghostbusters, so that's why they keep hammering that in.
I want to say Stay Puff didn't make it in the second film.
But it made it to every single other one.
Right.
So
But Slimer has been in all of them.
Slimer has been in all of them. So
Are those Slimer earrings? Were you slimed?
They're frogs, but
Oh,
yeah. I remember
just
when I first
just
got them as a gift, they thought they were green toast.
just do me a favor and say, "He slimed me."
No.
Do it.
No!
Do it. Come on, do it.
He slimed me. Yeah!
Yay! Ding, 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 ding.
Yay!
Well, I wanna thank you for doing the show with me, fool.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry I had to rush over here and I was almost late, but I wasn't.
Well, I'm in my office, and I've hardly been out of this room today, and I was still later than you.
Well, you should go back to playing Arkham Knight.
No, my eyes are tired. I was playing in the, VR headset, so
Ooh, fancy pants. I have to clean the bunny cage.
bum ba dum.
Your favorite?
Plus, prepare for a quick exit.
Yeah. Oh, we've already made arrangements.
It'd be like Midnight Express with Bun Bun.
Because Sea Dog's parents aren't back yet, we got permission from them to load up over there.
Oh, yeah, just put it on their bed.
Basically.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Bun Bun's thirsty. I better head out.
Alright. So long, and thank you, Fawn. It's good to hear from you again. I hope our other people are okay,
Fawn likes my earrings.
and we'll find out, probably next Saturday. Is that right? Yeah,
I
because next Saturday we are doing No Gods, No Masters,
garbage. And
and
I
then maybe Sunday we'll do the, Biba Knits, which
okay.
is ranking all the albums and, whatever, our final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up Garbage next weekend. I think that's probably a good idea, don't you think?
And in the plan is for me to actually be there in person so everybody can look forward to that.
Ooh.
No, I've been trying to save gas so I haven't been driving back as much.
Alright. Bring
Sad.
some of that roast beef. Bye bye, Fawn.
Bye.
I'm gonna end it. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Thanksgiving.